to be on camera for long. I just wanted to share a story about how I just learned that I am paying basically for someone else's water usage. Now, earlier this year, I was doing YouTube shorts about how I was moving. I was discussing how the rent out here is just ridiculous. Um, I was discussing how even when I moved, I was faced with not only paying rent, but I was paying renter's insurance as well as an administrative fee, as well as a pet fee because we have two cats. So I pay a pet fee for two animals. Um, then I later learned it wasn't in my lease, it wasn't in the for rent listing for the unit that I live in, but I later learned that I was going to be paying the water bill. And the way that I learned is when I received my first bill on my renter portal, online portal that I can log into and see how much I owe each month, as well as be able to pay online. Suddenly, I saw an extra fee that said water and sewer. And mind you, this wasn't mentioned or discussed during the lease signing that I would be paying a water bill. I already pay heat and gas. I mean, excuse me, gas and electric and heat, all of that. Because I understand that sometimes individuals might not have to pay for gas, but I pay for gas, heat, electric, all of that. But I also pay the water bill as well. Basically, I am paying the amount of owning my home without actually owning the home. In fact, this is a two-family house. With that being said, I stay upstairs and we have neighbors downstairs. So I moved in February earlier this year, and starting off, my water bill was like 70 something dollars for like months. I would say it was maybe June or May. I got my first bill. I think it was June. I got my first bill for $160. When I tell you, I saw that I was being billed for $160 for the water bill after being billed consistently for 70 something dollars. I went off. I went off. I did not understand it. Our water usage in the household had not changed. I was actually impressed with how much the water bill was, considering that from time to time we used the dishwasher. So I'm like, what could have changed? Because I don't wash here. I don't understand. Well, sure enough, I reached out to the management company because where I rent, the owner, after doing my research, I think I have this right. The owner does not stay in the state. The owner is somewhere else. Meanwhile, the owner has hired a management company who takes care of the property, who acts on behalf of that owner in terms of collecting rent and making sure that we get the maintenance that we need when things go wrong at this unit. So I reached out to this management company inquiring about why the heck did my bill jump from $70 after staying 70 something dollars for like a few months for my water bill. Why did it jump from that to 150 something by the summer when my water usage had not changed? I don't have a washing machine, so how could this be possible? They told me that they would get back to me. Mind you, I have been doing this via email because I didn't feel like going up there in person to speak with anyone, because one of the ways I have an option of communicating with the management company is via email, telephone, or in person. So I said, forget it. I just kept trying and trying for months. And then I was like, you know what, this bill, I'm thinking maybe it'll go back down to 70 something. We can be careful about how we use water here. Just to give you an idea, there's five of us up here in a 4-bedroom unit, two bathrooms. And then there are two people living in the unit downstairs. But even still, none of us is using that much water. And again, I don't wash here. I don't do laundry here. I do laundry at the laundromat. I don't own a washing machine. So, keeping that in mind, mind you, this had started happening a few months after living here. I want to go back to when I first moved here. When I first moved here, I was informed that there were several, or not several, but just about four, darn near four more washer and dryers in the basement that do not work. I was also informed by the person that showed me the home that if one of the washer and dryers did work, I was more than welcome to use it. So when I took the tour of the basement, I noticed that I saw like a couple of dilapidated looking washer and dryers that clearly needed to be thrown out, but had not been thrown out as of yet. And there was no sign that any washer or dryer was being used in the basement. I did also notice that there was one sink downstairs, one sink, whereas in other two family homes, because I grew up in a lot of two family homes when I was younger, other two family homes, I would see there were like two two sinks. There would be a sink for the upper level, there would be a sink for the lower level. So that way it would be distinguished who's using what water in the basement. There's also downstairs, but we don't have that here, mind you. We have one sink and one faucet, but there are different outlets. There's different sides of the basement. One side is for upper, the other side is for lower in terms of the outlets. So at the very least, I have an understanding of which outlet would belong to me if I wanted to plug in a washer and dryer downstairs, and which outlet belongs to the neighbors downstairs, in terms of plugging in a washer and dryer. Fast forward to this summer, I was down in the basement because I do have a very, very small portable washer. That it's a small portable washer you can buy on like Walmart and website, as well as Amazon and probably some other websites. You probably seen some, if you look into stuff like this, you probably seen some YouTubers review these little type of portable washers. I do have one of those, and the thing about those is they're tiny. Okay, so I found myself going to the laundromat more than anything. But this one time I decided to take it to the basement and use it down in the basement because I wanted to save some money that week instead of going to the laundromat. So I go down there and I realize as I'm doing my little bit of laundry in this little portable washer of mine, there's like a brand new washer sitting on the side where my outlet, the upstairs outlet is, the upstairs electricity outlet is in the basement. And I'm like, where did this washer come from? Because I know when I viewed this place, there was no new appliance down there. In fact, this appliance is so new, it still had like that blue tape. I don't know if y'all familiar with like that blue clear tape. It's not even like a tape. I guess it is like a tape, but like blue clear plastic or whatever that be on new appliances. It's sometimes on microwaves, it's sometimes on stoves, refrigerators. It's like this blue tape that keeps them closed. It's even on like coffee machines and things like that when you first buy it. So that's how I understood it was new. But the thing is, it's not only new, it's on my side of the laundry room and it's plugged into my outlet. So immediately I put two and two together that this is clearly something that my neighbor has bought. I am aware that I've been hearing her as of recently go up and down the stairs, sound like she's washing and drying clothes. So I had to confront her on this, like, hey, don't you know your washing machine is plugged into my outlet? And she, in my opinion, okay, just in my opinion, she played dumb, like, oh no, I didn't know. I said, well, you didn't see that it's written on the wall up. Like it clearly tells you by the outlet up, meaning that's for the upper unit. And if you look across on your side of the basement, it's written by the outlets down. And again, in my opinion, she just played dumb, like she didn't know any better. And I told her, like, I'm going to unplug that, and you're going to have to plug that into your outlet. I don't care if you run an extension cord or you move the washer altogether. You cannot have that in our electrical box. So eventually she did move it, right? But still, what I recognize is that they wash a lot. They wash a lot. So fast forwarding to today, I get a bill, a water bill for this month. It's been about 3 or 4 consecutive months now. My bill has more than doubled since getting the original bills at the beginning of the year at $70. Now my bill is 150 something dollars this month for the water bill. Mind you, my water usage has not changed, but guess whose water usage has changed since they got the new washing machine? You guessed it, downstairs. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. And not to mention, I've been asking management company all summer long for some sort of itemization that, or some sort of bill that shows an itemization of our water usage so I can better understand why the hell my damn bill is over $100 for months now. And it has more than doubled since I first moved in here when my water usage has not changed. Now, I already understood what the reason was. I just needed the proof. I just needed to see it so I know I'm not going crazy and it can, validate what I already know. So I said, you know what? Quit playing games. You ain't got it like that. This is your money. Even if you had it like that, you don't want to pay for nobody else's water usage. Go get concrete evidence. I took my behind to the management company today, sat down with the lady and finally got to speak with somebody. and she put her, opened up her computer and, visually showed me this is what was happening. And she said to me, and pointing at what she was showing me, like on an Excel spreadsheet, which I understood what I was looking at because I'm very familiar with Excel. She showed me the rates, the percentages, and said to me, "You're paying this particular rate because it's five of you living upstairs. Your neighbors are paying this percentage rate of the water bill, which was far less than mine's, because it's only two of them living downstairs." So I asked her, I said, "You mean to tell me, even though I don't wash here and our water usage has not changed, they could wash every day downstairs. And when that water bill increases, no matter what, I still pay the bigger portion because it's more of us living upstairs?" The woman looked at me and said, "Yes." I have it recorded, but I'm not going to play it because I don't know, that might be against the law, because they didn't know they was being recorded. So I'm never going to play the video, but yeah, I definitely have recorded that conversation. And trust me when I tell you, I ain't lying. It really happened today. Now, I don't know if any of you have ever heard of a situation like this. I have never heard of something like this in my entire life. Um, Paying the water bill up here in the Northeast where I'm from is fairly new. To be honest with you, growing up, most landlords, they just tell you, "Hey, you're responsible for gas and electric," and the landlord would usually cover landscaping as well as the water bill. But what I noticed is in recent years, I don't know what has happened, why this has become the trend, but the trend is when we rent to you as the tenant, you're responsible for water, gas, electric, landscaping. Hell, you're damn near paying the taxes. On top of it, rent, you got to have renter's insurance. If you got pets, forget about it. You're going to have to pay for all of them too. Like everything is on the tenant at this point, to the point where you might as well just own. You might as well just own, because at the end of the day, you're going to be paying on someone else's property like you do own it. So you might as well own your own home at this point. There is no point, in my opinion, when it comes to these type of homes that I've been dealing with lately. There is no point of renting anymore. These folks then bought up this property or these properties. Some of them, I'm not gonna put this on every landlord because I don't know every landlord, but when I go on like for rent websites, what I'm seeing is everyone, as far as landowners, are kind of doing the same thing. Or let me not say everyone, I want to generalize, but a lot of people are kind of doing the same thing. When you read the description of their for rent listing, they're pretty much all kind of doing the same things. They're charging you rent. They want to charge you pet fee. They want to charge you pet security deposit. They want to charge you a regular security deposit. They want to charge you an application fee. They want to charge you renter's insurance. They want to charge you an administration fee, especially if you're dealing with a management company. Then they turn around and tell you, after paying all of that every month, you also got to pay water, gas, electric, and you also are responsible for the landscaping. Now, every now and then you might find some for rent listings where at the least the landlord is like, "I'll cover, the landscaping, but you still got to pay for the rest of this stuff." And that is my current situation. That is how I find myself going from 1375, that was the rent, till now, when I'm not late on it, it is about 1,500. I'll say with the water bill, close to like 1,500, maybe sometimes under a little bit, maybe sometimes over. And that's going from the original 1375 that I thought was going to be the rent based off of the original for rent listing of this property. To make matters worse, I am hell of uncomfortable living here. It's what would be considered a suburban neighborhood. It was not my choice to come here. I would have preferred to stay in the city, but and the reason being is because, for one, you pay more when you go to a suburban area, suburban, whatever area, because you're really paying for safety and access to certain things, which is crazy. You got to pay for safety these days, but you really pay for the name and for the safety. But it just wasn't my first choice, because I understood this demographic that lives out here, they more than likely have the finances to live out here, whereas I'm just staying above water to live out here. And now with all of these extra expenses, I'm barely staying above water. Not to mention I have my 3 children and a car note. Thankfully, I am not living alone. I have my partner. But even with him, we have goals. We don't want this to be our forever home. We at this point have been discussing, like, what are we going to do, and do we want to just go ahead and take that leap of faith and go ahead and get a home of our own. And I don't think we really have a choice at this point. We got to make that happen because nobody wants to keep living this way. And before I close out, the final thing in terms of this living situation is moving here, because the neighbor controls like the downstairs area. There's this thing about the doors. The way this home is set up is not like a townhome. We live up and they live down. So because they live down, the doors that we have to utilize to get in and out of are the same doors that they have to get in and out of this place. And the problem with that is they kind of control the doors. So like if I leave out the door and I just lock one lock, I come back in, they done lock both locks, which I'd just be so irritable about, because it's like, y'all didn't go anywhere. Why would you lock both locks? Then we have a screen door on the front door that they constantly lock, and there is no key that you can use to get in. So, excuse me, I'm gonna get to choking in a minute if I don't get any water. But my point is, this living situation, despite the nice neighborhood that it may be, has become a nightmare, and especially a financial nightmare. So, you have to excuse me. I have allergies and they're getting ready to kick in. So I'm getting ready to end this live or I'm going to start choking right now. But my point is, like, it is crazy. And I'm going to continue to keep y'all updated. My goal now is, by the time this lease ends, prior to this lease ending, I'll have another place and I'll be out of here and hopefully in a better position. So that is it, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know if you are renting, what it is like where you are in terms of the price increases. Are you someone too that's paying like every damn bill of that landlord's home? Are you paying freaking rent as well as the water bill, the electric, the gas? Like, do you have any amenities added? And I noticed too, like, it seems like there's this push here in the Northeast to get everybody in apartment living, because they're definitely building a lot of apartments. I mentioned this in another video. They are definitely building up a lot of apartments. I don't know if that saying is true. You will own nothing and be happy. But here, it seems like corporations or businesses or somebody is buying up all the property for everybody else to be just renters, and they're building a lot of apartment complexes. I mean, I'm talking a lot of apartment complexes are popping up. I don't know if they're going to be affordable housing or what they're going to be, but it seems like the goal is to make everybody renters. I mean, that's all I got, is to make everybody renters. And it's I am an example of how it's not gonna go well for everybody. That's what I can say. I'm an example of that. It's not going well for me, especially as somebody who has a family, has children. This is not going well, and I don't like the fact that I'm in a situation where basically no matter what I do, if I cut back on my water usage, it won't matter, because of the fact that I have more people in my unit. The person downstairs can wash their clothes damn near every day, which it seems like they've been doing lately. Their bill stays the same. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. I'm so sorry. I forgot to tell y'all. While my bill is 150 something dollars and the lady was showing me the screen, their bill is like literally 30 something dollars. All based off the fact that it's only two of them down there. And mind you, they wash damn near every day. I guess I would too if I knew that my bill would never increase. And I can't say that they know this or not. I can't say that. What I can say is that I know it. And it's up to me to do something about it, because getting on here and complaining is not going to resolve the issue. Um, but I have to do something about it. And right now, the best thing that I can think of is to just keep it pushing. Get out of here and keep it pushing. Let somebody else deal with this, because I'm not the one. Not my hard earned ducats, okay? So that's it. Let me know what you all think in the comment section, and I'll talk to y'all soon. Thanks for tuning in.